Hey guys, and welcome to my next episode of my Mana and Artifice playthrough. And today, I'm going to be messing around with these constructs from Mana and Artifice, and I'm going to be using them to actually improve my Blood of Magic situation. So, I checked through the list of commands that these constructs can do. I'm thinking of a name for this one. I'm thinking Fred, like that, but, you know, and then have his friend Phil, but, I'm open for suggestions. Either way, so you can instruct these animated constructs to do things with these delegation stations. This is just a extra command in case something goes awry. So this series of commands is to grab stone from this chest, put it into the blood altar, wait for 40 seconds, and then take out a reinforced slate and then put it into this chest over here. And I'm going to start them up again with the Bell of Bidding, which here's the recipe for it: a bunch of transmuted silver, a carpet, some string, and an iron nugget. And I accidentally linked it to this one, so this person's the only one who will actually do things. So if I click diagnostics, it's just doing stuff, and then I can switch over to interact, I believe. And now they should follow the instructions. What's wrong with you? No, I don't want you to stay right there. Okay, follow me. Okay, now do this. Okay, I guess that there's a glitch where if they're told to stay still, they will prioritize that over that. So now, Phil, or Fred, or something else, I don't know, Jerome, they're going to take the stones, put them in, and then wait until they become a reinforced slate, which I have used those reinforced slates in order to get a lot of ritual stones. Each of these ritual stones requires a reinforced slate. I've also accidentally gotten a few imbued slates, me just putting stuff in the blood altar. But yeah, now it is a blank slate. It's almost done. That's a reinforced slate. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the timing perfect, but, now that's done. And I have actually done the timing, and I do heal faster than he uses the blood altar, so that means that I could do other things and then come back every once in a while just to refill it up. But either way, I should probably show how I made that golem. So, or I suppose they're called constructs in this mod. There's several things that are similar. Oh wait, this thing, I should probably show how I made that. So, as well as the delegation station and the golem. There are going to be a lot of crafting recipes this episode. Either way. So, in order to make constructs, not golems, they require this thing called I believe this is called a gantry. I may be wrong. Yeah, the construct gantry requires some transmuted silver, arcane sandstone leads, arcane stone, and transmuted silver. And you've got all these hooks, which you assemble the construct on, and then you fill all 8 of these trimmerite crystals with magic by using a spell, such as the fling spell from the first episode second-ish, that it creates. You can fill them up with magic, and then you right-click construct when it's completely assembled in order to free it from the gantry. I will probably be showing that at some point. However, I suppose I should show the recipes. This is a spell book. The way that they work is that you take some leather, some paper, and some string, and you can then shift right-click, control right-click to open it up. You can store extra spells in this portion, and then you also have this thing over here. So I just use it to free up some inventory space, and that's kind of just a really helpful thing to have, because I was starting to get a little bit annoyed by the fact that all these spells are just taking up my inventory. I also have been smelting up a bunch of extra food because I kind of want to try out that ritual of the satiated stomach, which is a blood magic ritual. I personally am a bit more of a fan of the blood magic rituals than the mana artifice rituals, but who knows, there may have been some hidden change that I'm not aware of. But either way, let's keep going on. Oh yeah, delegation station. Some vellum, the basic table, just crafted like so. Either way, another thing that I did between the episodes is I did a little bit of research into the tom plants. That looks cool. Ooh. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay, either way, I did some research into these tau fruit. So you can plant them and harvest them like normal plants. However, they have like a sort of like hidden secondary thing where they... Ooh, that would be bad. Where if you were to trap a mob around a tau fruit... Oh wow, this used to be like full. They will become saturated tau, and the plants will actually harm the creatures when they grow. And with that tau, you can create weak blood shards when harvested. And one of these things. What's the recipe? Yeah, imbued slates, master blood orb, deep slate, blocks of iron, the furnace, and then you use this well. And then you get weak blood shards, which are used to create bloodstone bricks, which are used to create the tier 4 altar, which I'm not going to create yet, which is a good thing because these like saturated tau, well, I don't have any in my inventory, they are a pain to get, so I really do not want to harvest a lot of them just because of how annoying it is to get a bunch of them. Now it's raining. Right, can I at least sleep? Nope. Oh. Oh. Right, that's a little bit close. But as you can see, we got 9 reinforced slate. I think there were 2 from before. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Thinking about my friend, I should probably talk a bit more about how to make a construct. So, in the mana artifice... What? I want to know how to craft that, either way. So constructs you can create using a combination of like their arms, their a leg, a torso, etc. And when you have a fully constructed construct on the gantry, you can right click it. I'll probably show creating a second construct because there is a thing with the... Wait. Yeah, this was blown up by a creeper, so I kind of had to move stuff. Actually, oh yeah, I should probably elaborate. Yeah, I moved the blood altar over there because, you know, it was getting to be a bit of a pain, and I prefer open spaces. I'm probably going to have to move it again because I think it's a bit too close to the incense altar, but that will be a thing for the future. For the moment, Fred's workspace is perfectly fine. Let's show how to create a construct. So if you want to make a construct, you first of all need to grab a lot of Vintium. So each part of the construct requires at least 2 Vintium dust, and because there are 5 parts to a construct, you'll be needing 10 Vintium dust for a single construct, at least, maybe more depending on the quality of the parts that you use. This is because constructs have these like higher tier things where they require construct frames, which are a rune forging pattern, which requires Vintium ingots, etc., etc., etc. And the reason why I prefer creating wooden constructs is because they do not require these extra moats. They don't require moats, they don't require construct frames, it just is... I mean, this one requires it because it's a special one, but if we were to select the basic ones, as you can see, the wood one does not require any extra, simply the 3-1. So we are going to be summoning a basic construct with 2 grabber hands. You also could craft a wickerwood construct. I'm not going to. Each of the wickerwood ones are kind of weird. They require like wood, but no Vintium. So I guess you could create constructs with that type of thing. Actually, sure, why not? Let's summon a Scarecrow. Or at least the closest thing that we have to a Scarecrow. Are these villagers sleeping? That means that we can get rid of the rain! Yes! So actually, the type of constructs that I'm assembling right now, the wicker wood ones, the wick wood. These wicker wood constructs, they... Sorry if you guys can hear that, that's awfully loud. So these wicker wood constructs, they are available to be made at any tier, whereas the wooden ones require tier 2 or higher. So I guess I'll grab the materials for this. If you want to create a basic construct with a basic torso, basic legs, and arms, I will show the recipes here. So the basic head requires 3 wood, 2 Vintia, and these 2 symbols. The torso requires 2, and these 2 symbols. And the arms are weird, but I need to first find them. No, these are grabber arms. So these grabber arms are made with the wood, the 2 dust, and those things. And you could switch a left arm for a right arm by just crafting it again, or you could use the downward version of the triangle instead of the upward version of the triangle. Right arms require upward triangle, and the left arms use the downward portion of the triangle. But because I'm interested in making a Scarecrow today, we are going to be using wicker wood, which is the arms, which you need 2 of, are a variety of wood, 3 of those, and some wheat, which does mean that my wheat farm, never mind, those are my potatoes. My wheat farm actually was useful for a bit. I've just been harvesting the potatoes, if I'm being completely honest, because they have ore doubling. Well, not ore doubling, smelting doubling, because of things here. Anyway, if I remember correctly, those arms are crafted like so. Yep, here's 1 arm. We're going to be needing 2 of these arms. So we're going to craft them both like this. But we need a right arm. So now we have a right arm and a left arm. Now we're going to put them both into this construct gantry by right-clicking. And once you put in a part, you can't take it out unless you create a replacement part. So if I were to grab, say, a second left or right arm, I could right-click and switch them out. However, this is what we're going to be doing here. Now let's look at our wickerwood basic torso. So that is 2 hay blocks as well as 3 sticks, like so. So now we've made the chest plate. Now let's look at the head. That requires wood and some flint. Got some flint. We've had the wood the entire time. Now we have this head here. Now we need the basic legs. That's wood and wheat, like so. You only need 1 pair of legs because they aren't made in pairs. And now let's slap them in here. Boom, there we go. So now we have our construct fully assembled. Now, because we're using the gantry, you have to have 8 of these chimrite crystals all surrounding it. This chimrite crystal was misclicked, but, you know, the constructs still are free, so it doesn't matter. And then when you are ready, you right-click. And now, you look, the construct is assembling itself. I just wanted to get a screenshot of that, but started failing miserably the moment I tried to do it. So now I am going to take my delegation belt. Wait, will this work on you? It's not a delegation belt, but it's a belt fitting. I'm going to craft the second one just in case, because you can see the enchantment glint on it, which means that it is linked to a specific construct, that being Fred. So, because it is linked to Fred, I do not know if it will still work for other constructs. So like I said, this is the recipe for a bell of bidding, and the way that this works is that if you hold down Z, you have this little circle. So I'm going to select it to follow. Now I'm going to have this construct follow me, and now they're going to walk. They are slow. That was so slow. I can understand why Wickerwood's a tier 1 thing now. Yeah, you can stay still. I actually think that you can make constructs go back into gantry I could double check. Oh yeah, I suppose I should show. So because I used a bunch of air spells, they moved. Let's see, where's it? Faster 8 times. So that happened. Yeah, I am unsure if you can put your constructs back into the gantry. It used to be possible for you to be able to swap out parts for your constructs after you created them, but turns out that's not the case. However, it doesn't really matter because we are going to be creating a delegation station in order to have our friend here start grinding stuff down on a grindstone. And you may be wondering, hold up, you can't grind stuff down on a grindstone? To which I would respond, yes you can. Like, only your constructs can do it. A little dumb, but still. Would you mind? Thank you. Otherwise, we've got our construct here. I'm going to have them follow me. And now I'm going to set down this delegation thing right here. And I am going to tell my construct to stay here. Or stay still, I suppose. Now I'm going to craft a grindstone. It turns out I need stone slabs. I don't craft these very often. So here we go. We have a grindstone crafted up. And I'm going to set it next to the delegation station. So now I am going to take a few chests and set them down. I'm going to be instructing the construct to take stuff and place stuff into a chest. So now let's open up this delegation station. So you guys can see here, we have take item, place item, chop trees, harvest crops, activate block, plant crops, patrol, move, place block at position, wait, drop item, gather items, fish, or eat item. Dang it. Apparently in order to grind items, you need to have a lodestar, which is crafted like so. This is more expensive, which is why I wanted to do it the cheap way. But alas, we have to craft a lodestar, so we have to create these patterning prisms, which require 2 chimmerite gems, a cyan glyph, or does it have to be cyan? Because that'd be awfully annoying if it had to be that specific color. That being because I don't have access to green dye except through alms. There appears to be no alternate recipes. So this will take 3 chimmerite. I think I actually do have 3 chimmerite at this point. Yeah, exactly 3 chimmerite. Ooh, this is going to be a close one. So let's craft our patterning prism. And I believe we can now craft the lodestar. We need more arcane stone. Don't worry, I have some in the chest over here. And now we have crafted a lodestar. Yay! Lodestars are not expensive as they used to be. They used to require gold and, I believe, even more chimmerite. So I'm glad that that's not the way it is now. But still, the fact that I have to make one is still kind of annoying. So you right-click on a lodestar and you see the list of commands. This is significantly longer. And the way that this works is it works a bit like Blockly, where you can kind of drag commands out and then do stuff. I assume that they're, yeah, with these conditionals. So, again, I should just specify. The way that this works is that you drag out the commands. And then you've got this blue thing here, and you drag out to here. And then it will form a line. That line shows that the command is being accepted by the lodestar in this case. Now you take runes of marking, which are crafted in a runic anvil with superheated ventium. Rune patterns of marking, which is this pattern. If you have the book, you'll be able to see it in a bit more detail. But we're going to put stuff into this chest and have it be put into that chest. That is the goal. So we should mark this chest, and if you hold the thing, it will show that that chest is marked. Now if we select this command, we can put this into here, except that we actually keep it because of item duplication. I'm not entirely sure. But so we show that the construct should take something from this chest. And you can also unmark the runes of marking by putting them into your crafting grid. So after they take the item, we want them to use the grindstone. So I'm going to look for the grindstone command here. The crush command, sorry. I suppose that we could, like, specify something, but oh, actually, yeah, like we could set it so that if the construct has an item, they then crush the things. Otherwise, I I should double check a little bit more about these conditionals, because things can get really crazy if you have a conditional involved. So the way that it seems to work is that a green arrow is the success, and the red arrow is failure. So if we were to have it say like, oh yep, like put down a water bucket if you don't have anything right now or whatever. But I'm just gonna cancel that out, because I guess that we should just double check if the construct's actually holding something. Otherwise they can like say wait for this slide bar to be like an entire minute if you don't have anything from the chest. No, we should just have it set like 20 seconds. So then the game is not being spammed with failed construct commands if the chest is empty. Either way, so now we have this route of marking. We have to mark where the grindstone is. Like so, you have to shift right click in order to mark things such as grindstones. And now we have the grindstone marked. And then we want to place a item. If the construct has an item, we put it into the chest. There we go. And we also mark the chest. So we put it into this chest. I'm going to unmark this room. So if the construct has an item, that happens. And then, actually, no, we know that the construct is going to have an item after this, so we don't need to mark that. But what we can mark is that if the construct continues to have an item, they can put it into the chest. This has become a bit of a mess, but it's like they grind something, then they put it into the chest, and if they still have an item, they can just continue to put it in the chest. Actually, I'll just get rid of those steps and just have it be that they put stuff into the chest, because it doesn't really matter. At least I hope it doesn't. The way that constructs work is that if they fail to do a task, they kind of just restart. And because this is hardly a computer, we're just going to have it be that if they fail to put something into the chest, that means that they are full, and therefore they can't put anything in the chest. And I should probably double check which grinding operation creates the most items. So in JEI, you can click the uses button and then see how many things something creates. So let's see. It seems like 4 is the cap. Yeah, you can do things such as making blaze powder more efficiently. Yeah, so there are at most 4 items generated. So if we have 4 instances of this command, that will be enough for all of our grinding needs. You can see this list in the book as well, underneath the command crush. Oh, it says the output of the crushing will be placed in their hand, the remainder being dropped on the ground. Ooh, that's annoying. Either way, we get various results by grinding, and you can read it in the book. Like, we can turn cobblestone and gravel, making that more easily renewable. But it turns out, so this man only has... They're thin. Wow. That's like a really tiny entity. Either way, so they only have 2 inventory spots to put stuff in the chest, so it actually does not matter. We should, in fact, remove these last 2 for simplicity. Yeah, also, there is a limit to this. You can only go so far in regards to construct lists, but I do not know that length. So what we should do is that we should create a magic broom in order to sweep the items that are dropped onto the ground into this chest. Magic brooms are crafted with a hay bale, a stick and 2 Vintium, as well as Orbeus and Capriccio, whatever that is. Those 2 symbols. And then we slap them in here. Pull out our Chimmerite wand, so we create a circle. That's a square. Circle. As well as this shape here. That's the shape right there. And now we get a magic broom. And the way that you use these is that you shift right click to put it onto the chest. And now if you toss the item on the ground, the broom will put it into there. Were you just bullying my construct? I'm gonna just dump a lava bucket on you, man. Deserved. I looked them in the eye, and I felt no mercy. So either way, what we should do now is, now that we have the list of commands set up, is that we should... Whoa! What? What is this? We can automatically queue our thing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Oh, also, just occurred to me, we've got more cantrips. So we can get rid of harmful potion effects and then clear out water. Huh. Yeah, I just accidentally clicked Z on this instead of on the bell, but oh! Ooh! That's interesting. It also does show the symbols we have available. We've got slash, that, as well as the names. So, either way, let's take our bell bidding and click the interact option. So we ring in his face a little bit. When we click on the load star, now they will execute the command in the load star. Except that glitch where they kind of stay still, in which case you now have to set them to that command. And now we click diagnostics, and they're gonna say, hey, you kind of failed at your part. There's nothing in here. So now we're going to look at this grindstone list once more. So we could crush a skeleton skull in the bones, ores into their their raw form, cobble into gravel, copper into copper, creeper head that. In case you guys are wondering why all these mob head things are in there, you can create a special enchantment from Hit Out of Artifice, which makes mobs drop their heads. So that's probably one reason why that's here. Okay, so I could craft this at some point, and then... Wait. Ritual of the Shadow Soul? Oh my gosh! That sounds kind of morbid. There's something trapped inside... Guys, I think that you could become a necromancer, or evil. By the way, that's not what we're looking for. So, yeah, I honestly don't see very many of these things that we could use right now. Probably the most useful would be the blaze rod one. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put cobblestone in there because I don't have any other thing to do. So, now, they take stuff. Whoa, man. What you doing? What's wrong? You need to be able to smith. He needs to be able to smith things in order to do it? What is that? We probably need hammer arms in order to do this. So this makes you useless. Oh, dang it. It just occurred to me. The other construct's trying to craft stuff that they can't actually do. I should probably tell them to stop. Now look at them. Let's ring the diagnostics. See what's wrong here. Like, sir, my hands, they're empty. Okay, so I'm going to, well, I'll ring diagnostics again to get rid of these stone. But now I'm going to tell you to, stay still. Stay still. Good. Now I'm going to get rid of that stone again. Because you can't use it. Well, that was, that was kind of sad. You know, I thought I'd be able to do this ritual of satiated stomach, but I feel like this recording's already going on pretty long. If it is not going on for too long, then I most certainly could do the ritual, but, you know, there'll be a clip of me showing that. But I do want to double check. Aha, they died! And thus we have saturated town. Fully ready to harvest. This sheep is not healthy enough to grow these other two. I'm going to have to take care of that at a later date because it is the end of the episode. So I hope you guys have a very good day, and I will see you around next week. Peace.